audio, we good? Oh. Should I do desktop audio or mic audio? Y'all want to hear me talk, man? Oh. Should I do desktop audio or mic audio? Y'all want to hear me talk, man? Oh. Should I do desktop audio or... Yeah, that shit. That shit still playing. I don't know. I think I'm gonna do desktop audio for now. Oh, desktop audio was on. That's why it was. That's why it was jumping like that. Oh, desktop audio was on. That's why it was jumping like that. Okay, we might not run desktop. Let me see.
affordability. Only one place does it all. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight. Unbeatable deals right now at Harbor Freight's parking lot sale. Don't miss out.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Techie Dialogue. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to change the volume in FL Studio step by step. If you're looking to adjust your audio levels smoothly and efficiently, this guide will walk you through the process. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more FL Studio tips and tricks. Let's get started. Step 1. First, enable the Show Fade Editing Controls option by clicking on this icon, or use the shortcut Shift F. Once you've done that, left-click on the audio clip, and you'll see a small dot appear on the clip. From there, you can drag the dot up to increase the volume or down to decrease it. Step 2. If you want even finer control over your audio, consider using the volume envelope in either the mixer or playlist. This feature allows you to automate volume changes over time, giving you the ability to create dynamic adjustments throughout your track. And that's it. You've successfully learned how to change the volume in FL.
that's it. I'm gonna probably come back and play some what's it called? Hogwarts. Man, matter of fact, bro. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stay on. Hold on. I'm gonna stay on. It's the album, right? Let y'all listen to the album. I'll be right back.
1goodgas money farm even better. There are timestamps in the video bar for each topic, although I think every single one of them will teach you something new to make Hogwarts Legacy even better. If you like the content here on the channel, then it would be amazing if you could leave a like on the video. That would really help me out. Subscribe for way more spoiler-free tips and tricks like this, and let's go. We of course all like to use Levioso during combat, but I never thought about using Wingardium Leviosa during a fight, and well, it's surprisingly fun. So we can of course not cast it on an enemy, but we can aim and use it to lift up objects in the environment, which we can then use against enemies. It's pretty good, dealing decent damage, breaking enemy shields, so you don't have to worry about those, or we can place a barrel close to an enemy, then blow it up in their face. The spell does not have a cooldown, so you can just keep trying, although you are an easy target, so you have to dodge away often. If there's only one enemy left, you can just lift them up though with Levioso and then grab an object with Leviosa to finish them off. Or my favorite, nice against ranged enemies that don't move, lift up an object high in the air and then drop it on them for an insta-kill, which is awesome. Shout out to Boomstick Gaming for sharing this tactic in his videos. I will leave a link to his channel in the video description. And now moving on to a post from Monkey Mystic. They talked about a camera setting in Hogwarts Legacy that I wish I knew earlier. Because maybe like me, you also had to get used to the fact that it's all very sensitive and that just one small push of the right analog stick would move the camera all over the place. Well, thanks to Monkey Mystic, we know that you can actually change this. So normally when turning the camera around, it moves like this, so pretty fast. But if we then go to the gameplay options and then to camera acceleration, turn that down to 0, you actually feel some resistance when moving the camera, and it goes way slower when turning it around completely. I like this way more. And well, if we then go back to the settings and to camera sensitivity and change that to 2, you suddenly have a camera that is way closer to other third-person games, which I totally prefer. And you can, by the way, change similar things for the aim feature that is also very sensitive. I only turn it down to 0 to make it easier to move the crosshair around, so I did not touch the sensitivity, but I think this is worth checking as well if you want it to change. Now, another interesting setting before I touch on some crazy things regarding the difficulties in this game, and that has to do with the camera relative targeting that is on by default. So you always target the enemy that your character is facing, but when you move the camera around with the right stick, for example, your combat target will change. But if you turn off the camera relative targeting in the gameplay options menu, this does not happen anymore, meaning that you can just move the camera around freely without changing the combat target. So now you can look around on the battlefield, see what the other enemies are doing while still attacking the target your character is facing. I really dig this, like I don't always want to play with the lock-on function, so this is a nice in-between. Another thing you can of course change in the settings anytime is the difficulty, even during combat. And then you will notice some interesting things, like here on the normal difficulty my basic shot hits 81. But if I then in the middle of the fight switch to the hard difficulty, these hits suddenly do 40 damage, so that's a decrease of 50%, which is quite significant. And also when doing the window on this dog bug on the normal versus hard difficulty, you see that the damage is decreased by half. But what is interesting is that it seems to depend on the enemy. So the basic hit is always decreased, but the window on this troll, for example, on the normal and hard difficulty deals the exact same. Juggling this enemy with Levioso and then following up with a basic shot also deals the same damage on both normal and hard. So they balance things depending on the situation or something is not working properly. Now while hard overall does decrease the damage versus normal, it does seem that the easy and story difficulty do not buff damage versus normal, so are basically the same. But what you will notice on easy and the story difficulty is this huge button prompt when enemies are doing special attacks. So you can easily dodge away or way more easily parry it. Like, I'm not a big fan of how big it is and it really slows down the gameplay, but I'm sure it helps people who are having a hard time with the combat. And if you, by the way, want a more in-depth analysis of the differences in the difficulty, let me know in the comments down below. I might do that. But the really big thing is that the story difficulty actually has different features that I wish I knew sooner, because it would have saved me some time, as I don't really like the lockpick mini game. It feels like it's always the same, and more just something to keep you busy. And well, that's why it's nice that you can completely skip it. Only on the story difficulty, you find this auto solve option during the minigame, which will just immediately finish the puzzle and open the door for you. Now you still need to upgrade Alohomora for higher rank locks, but the ones that you can open can be instantly solved, so if you're just focused on finding the demiguise statues to of course upgrade your lockpicking skill, but don't like the minigame, then just play on the story difficulty for the time being. And you can of course easily see which village in the open world still has a hidden demiguise statue by looking at their map icon. I talked about this and way more tips and tricks in my previous Don't Make the Same Mistakes video. I will leave a link to it in the video description. Totally check it out if you haven't already. Now the story difficulty is also great when focusing on capturing beasts. Like normally you of course have to press a button a few times before you can rescue them, especially larger creatures are a bit trickier as they can just fly away and then you cannot capture them anymore. I always used Levioso, but we actually got Louise Claire in the comments noting that using Glacius or Arresto Momentum is actually smarter to give you way more time, which is totally the case, but maybe you're already guessing it, but putting the game on the story difficulty completely eliminates this mini game. Like just pulling out your knapsack is enough and it will instantly capture the creature for you, including all the large ones, which is kinda crazy. Now sure, this feels more like cheating compared to just skipping that lockpick mini game, but hey, if you're doing that money tactic where you are capturing creatures to sell them for 120 gold each, then this actually way faster. I now use this route in the Norfort Bog region. As you can see, there are many dens close to each other, which is really nice, so I try to capture as many beasts as possible, then fly between them, and then after getting all the beasts, I just travel back to the starting point and do it again, as most of them will have respawns. If your inventory is full, then just go back to Hogsmeade and to this shop of course, where you can sell your beast, and I now got a ton of money thanks to this tactic. But of course, if you got a better route, then I'm all ears, so let me know in the comments down below. Still, this tactic is of course more for later on in the game after you got beast class, because if you then return to the room of requirements, you can start capturing these beasts. That's why I also made the early money tactic video on how to get rich after just a few hours of playtime. That will be in the video description. As you might know, in that video I showed you 20 locations for the special eye chest, also in Hogwarts, and well, something crazy happened. I was namely collecting demiguise statues in Hogsmeade and walked past one of these chests that I already opened, and I could loot it again. Like, the prompt was there and I got the 500 gold notification. Then this happened again at another chest close by, also in Hogsmeade. Like, it's clearly open already. Also, when I checked another chest that I did not open yet on this save, you of course do see the animations, which were completely gone for the other two chests that I looted before. So maybe it's a bug, because other eye chests I checked that I already opened could not be reopened. So it's kind of weird. Your theories are more than welcome. Of course, if you found this as well, then I'm really curious. Maybe we can find a way to reopen these chests. That would of course be huge. And speaking of chests, just a warning. I wish I knew earlier regarding the legendary chest that of course look like this. You will find them everywhere in the game, and they seem to be the only chest that you can't open again if you got a full inventory the first time around. Like here I got the your gear slots are full notification, so then I destroy an item, but I could not open the chest again, which of course really sucks. Now luckily there's a high chance that the game made an autosave, so if you just reload that and then make room in your inventory and then open the chest, you will be able to get the legendary item. So good to keep that in mind. Don't subscribe for way more spoiler-free tips and tricks like this. If you haven't already, I'm always curious to hear what you found, so drop it down below. A like on the video would really help me out. And click on the screen for an awesome video about items that nobody is using, but that are really, really powerful. Check it out if you haven't watched it yet. For now, I'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
You think you're fine after a car accident until this happens. Most people don't realize that even accidents that seem minor can financially destroy you when the real costs hit weeks later. If you've been in a car accident recently, even one that seemed minor or where you were just a passenger, you need to hear this before it's too late. Here's what happens to most people. They walk away from what seems like a minor accident thinking everything is okay. Maybe a little soreness, maybe some minor damage to their car, but nothing serious. Then reality hits. The medical bills start rolling in. Your car needs more repairs than you thought. You're missing work because of lingering pain
over 40 hours of Hogwarts Legacy and wish I had done some things differently. So I want to talk about those mistakes so you don't have to make them yourself, like going into activities prepared, buying things earlier than I did, doing quests that I've skipped for way too long, and way more. Of course, if you are enjoying Hogwarts Legacy and like the content here on the channel, then leave that like. That would really help us out. Subscribe for way more spoiler-free tips and tricks like this, and let's go. One thing I only started paying attention to later on was how to properly use the map. You might already know about the fact that you can use the right and left D-pad buttons to switch between the Hogsmeade world map and Hogwarts map instead of moving your cursor, which is very convenient. But it never really zoomed out all the way to get a better look at the Highlands. This is, I think, the only way to see the level of the enemies that can appear in each region. So the enemies scale to your level, but they cannot go higher or lower than the region level. So for example, here I'm level 35 in a region where the max level for the enemies is 30. So then the enemies stay at 30. While if you are level 18 in an area for level 20 to 40, then the enemies will be at 20, because that's the closest they can get to you on level 18. Now in true open world fashion, if we zoom out, we also see the different activities and collectibles you find in each zone. This is especially handy later on when you try to complete the field guide, as many of the challenges that you need to complete are linked to the many white dots on the map. Now there's one thing in particular very handy about the legend, and that's the ability to see the demiguise statues. These are needed to upgrade your lockpick level after getting the Alohomora spell. You get this after doing a main mission that becomes available when it turns fall in your game, and during this quest you already get 3 of these statues. But after that you're kinda thrown in the deep end, while you need 6 more of these statues to get to rank 2. So I was like looking around Hogwarts to find more of these statues, but I could not really find them, so I put this quest to the side. But that is not smart at all, because they will come across many level 2 and 3 doors that you can't open, meaning that you will lose out on a ton of loot. And finding these demiguise statues is also way easier than I first thought, because they're mostly hidden in the open world instead of Hogwarts, and you can very easily find them by looking at the villages on the map. Here it will be noted if you already have the demiguise in that village or not. If that's not the case, they can just easily search every house and eventually find them. Now, of course, it has to be night for this, and I also learned this way too late, but there is a trick to switch the day and night cycle. Just go to the map menu and then press the wait button. This lets you switch from day to night or night to day. You can only do it though outside of combat, so if the feature is not available, then there's probably an enemy nearby, so you have to take that out first before you can do the wait feature again. So I looked in each village for the demiguise statues, especially the ones close to Hogwarts, as they can already be reached when you only have lockpick level 1. It took me around 10 to 15 minutes to get the necessary demiguise statues to increase my lockpick level to 2, which lets me open way more doors. I will also leave a link to a very good guide from PowerPix with all the locations for these statues, so you can easily upgrade Alohomora yourself and open every door that you come across as soon as possible. These rooms with locked doors can also contain chests with guaranteed legendary gear, but these are mostly unidentified when you open them, so then you of course have to bring them to the room of requirements before you can use the item.
Co-producer is going to give you unique sounds that actually fits your track in seconds. Let me show you. First, let it listen. Looking for a vocal chop.
Do this as soon as possible. Like, I thought I was smart and saved them all up so I could identify them all at once and get them on my current level, but that's not how it works. The level of unidentified gear is namely determined when you open the chest and not when you identify it. So waiting too long will mean that the item becomes useless, as you will likely already be a higher level. Another important thing is preparation before main missions. As you might have noticed, these can be very self-contained, take place in linear dungeons. Like the moment you start them, you can't go back or you'll have to completely reset them, so start from the beginning. I already made some good progress in a mission once and then noticed that my inventory was full just before entering a dungeon, where you of course get a ton of new loot that you can then sell. So make it a habit to equip the best possible items, as noted with the green arrow, and then sell the rest at a vendor before you start the next quest, so you don't have to destroy gear in your inventory to make room for potential better items. Like When you destroy gear, you're basically throwing money away. There is, by the way, a shop where you can sell your gear for more money, although you have to be on PlayStation for this. I tell you about that and way more things you want to unlock early in a previous video that I will leave a link to in the video description. Also make sure that you have enough potions before you start a new quest, especially later main missions and the arenas that you can find in the open world, like over here for example, will throw a ton of enemies at you and then you will be forced to complete it with the amount of potions you currently have on you. Or otherwise you have to completely restart the quest. Like, not needed to have the maximum of 25, but at least 10 for these later missions is really helpful. And don't need to spend your hard-earned money on it in Defender at Hogsmeade. No, you want to make these yourself. So for this you have to unlock your Room of Requirement, which eventually happens by following the main story. For the